Hi, Colorado brokers. It's been a couple of years since I have done my contract videos. Didn't know if y'all were still wanting those. I've heard from a couple of people asking where they are. I'm back. So today we're going to talk about Section 9, the new ILC or the new survey section. And what we're going to talk about here today is specifically limiting the buyer's rights to a survey or the buyer's right to an ILC. Is this language common where you practice? Do you typically put in Section 9 or do you reference Section 9 maybe in additional provisions and use language similar to this? Do you say something along the lines of ILC to be provided only if required for OEC? Or maybe you use something similar like ILC to be ordered and paid for by the seller if required by title, and to be ordered and paid for by the buyer if required by lender. Is that common for you? Either of those. That's fine to a degree. But what I want to talk to you today is about adding something on to that language. You don't want to use only that language because that language limits then the buyer's right to an ILC or the buyer's right to a new survey, which somewhat is under their inspection rights to find out information about the property. It's not obviously under inspections, but it's a form of. And so if you use that language that limits the buyer's rights to that ILC or that survey only if it pertains either to OEC or if it pertains as a requirement from some other entity, whether from lender or from title. And so, what I would actually recommend is that you add to that language in additional provisions, maybe reference Section 9 and say something along the lines of buyer reserves the right to have an ILC or survey completed at buyer's expense by all applicable deadlines. The buyer's not required to have the survey. They're not required to complete an ILC or to have one done. But what that language does is it doesn't remove their right to have one in case they wanted one. So I'm back with these videos. If you guys have sections you'd like me to include, I'd love to hear from you. My business page on Facebook, I had to do a little reset. So if you could give me a like, that'd be really awesome. And if you would give me a review, holy moly, that would be even better. Great to see you again. Have a good week.